Ayubovan.
Ayubovan. Ayubovan means may you live long. So there are three stupas, and it's like the Ruwanalisaya, Abegiriya, and Jetavanarame is like the three names, which was developed by three kings, three different eras. Okay, but when you get the exact ratio of the distance from one pinpoint to the other, that same ratio, and the ratio in Giza pyramid in Egypt, the three pyramids, and the ratio of Orion's belt, the three stars, identical. Okay, so
what's your philosophy about Ramayana?
Okay.
Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing good. I am your host Sonam and I welcome you to our new episode of Internash with Sonam. Today's country is called the Pearl of Indian Ocean. It is called the Teardrop of India and also known as Ceylon. It has many names. I hope you have guessed it by now. It is Sri Lanka. So we're gonna talk about everything about Sri Lanka today, all the way from culture, stereotypes, language, food, travel, to economic crisis and civil war. Sri Lanka is in news these days and from the last year because it is going through a lot, but it is now the time that is going to bounce back. And so very interesting things about Sri Lanka, like you're not supposed to go to Sri Lanka with a Buddha tattoo. You will be jailed for it. Yes. Do you know that if you will see the flag of Sri Lanka, you will literally know the demographic population. Because the major part, red represents Sinhala, green represents Muslim, and then the orange represents the Hindu Tamils living there. So like that, there are many interesting facts. If you want to know everything about it, watch the video till the end. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And please leave a heart in the comment if you like the video. So I'm inviting my friend Promo and he's going to tell us about everything Sri Lankan. So I'm so excited. Let's get started. So we are here with Pramodya Desanayaka. We are classmates and I'm so happy that you came here for Sri Lankan episode.
Okay.
So we are so pleased to have you. You want to introduce yourself first?
Yeah. Hi guys, my name is Pramodya Desanayaka, but everyone used to call me Promo. So I'm a first year MBA student at IUJ. And
we are basically promoting IUJ here.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, I'm very interested in knowing about the capital. You want to explain something? Like, I was confused if it is Colombo or Sri Vardhanapura Kotte.
See, it's like this. The commercial capital is Colombo, but the actual capital is called Sri Vardhanapura Kotte, which is like very similar to each other, just like around 2-4 kilometers. Like
okay,
when
so
you take it from the
different cities.
Yeah, it's different cities, but it all fall under the same district. But you have the two, like the commercial city and the capital city.
Are you Tamil or you Sinhala?
No, I'm Sinhala.
Sinhala.
Yeah, Sinhala.
And now I researched about it, so I know the difference.
There are like mainly four races.
Four races.
Sinhala, whereas the majority is, and then we have Tamil and Muslims and Burger.
Yeah, you call Moors to Muslims. Very interesting thing about their flag also. It completely represents their population.
Exactly. So like when you see our flag, you have the lion, right?
Yeah.
So lion and the sword symbolize the brave, like symbolize brave, like that Sri Lankans are brave. But the red color in it symbolize the Sinhala, like
because
the majority.
75% of population is Sinhala, so it represents a major part of the flag.
She knows the stats.
Yeah.
Okay. So like red color symbolize Sinhalese, and the green color symbolize the Muslim people, and the orange color symbolize Hindu people.
Yeah, it's like Indian Tamils who are living there. It symbolizes the orange because it represents the Indian Tamils. Yeah. So and there's a border.
When you speak about Tamils, but for the knowledge that I know, like there are kind of two people, like not two people, like two kinds, because you have the Jaffna Tamils, and some in the central part, in the hill capital, not hill capital in the sense like in tea estates and all those kind of newer areas, you know. Like there are another like the British people have bought Tamil from India to work over there. So now they have been established, their homes and everything in there. So there are like, but overall throughout the island you have people like Tamil people, but majority lives in the Jaffna area and in those hill country areas. The kingdom shifted from different areas from Sri Lanka, from like Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, and so and back to Kandy, which is where I'm from.
Oh, you're from Kandy?
Yeah, I'm from Kandy. Okay, so it's interesting that I saw like Kandy is like the coffee, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like,
it is very religious.
Yeah. It's a really religious because of the Lord Buddha's tooth relic is kept in Kandy, in Dalanda Maligawa, which we call it. And so the Kandy is the last kingdom of my country. Like, yeah, so...
Is it in the south? Like,
no, hill capital.
Hill capital.
Central.
Okay.
Central in the city. So like, you know...
Lanka has like 9 provinces and 25 districts.
Yes.
So the hill capital you're talking about is in the center?
Center.
Okay, in the center.
It's called the Central Province. And Kandy is there are 3 districts in the Central Province. You have Nuwara, Kandy and Matale. So Kandy is like the center.
Okay.
Center of the Central Province and the center of Sri Lanka.
Okay, and but the Colombo and Sri Jayawardhanapura Kote is on the
western side.
And the controversial Hambantota is
south side.
South side. Yeah. What do you think about like Hambantota?
Hambantota is like earlier it was like very rural area, but after the civil war, because past president, Mahinda Rajapaksa, his village and his area was in south, so he developed Hambantota as a really like city, and developed many infrastructure, bought like airport and the port and those kind of huge, because it has many land, right, like bare land, so they could easily do the infrastructures, they could easily do those kind of things very easily, and of course because if it's his area, he focused much more, I guess.
But are you happy that because we Indians see it very negatively, saying that okay, because they have given it to China for like 99 years for lease, and it's kind of like China is started buying Sri Lanka. Okay, I'll tell you the complete view what we think.
Okay.
It's like there's India and there's Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka, China is investing in Hambantota. There's Pakistan, China is investing in Gwadar port, and then there's Myanmar. They are investing in some of the port there also, and then they want to take Nepal in their side. So what we think as Indians is like basically China is surrounding us. We call it string of pearls. Like,
okay.
Like they're surrounding it from everywhere. Yeah.
Kind of makes sense. Because like China wants to, establish their Silk Route and to be
with their Belt and Road initiative, they want to do everything and buy lands.
So Sri Lanka is a really important conjunction for them.
Yeah.
Even in previous days, like previous times, because like that's why Sri Lanka was invaded by many countries. And tried to be invaded because the geographical location of Sri Lanka is very unique.
Yeah, as he said, like they were invaded by many countries. That's why they have Sri Lankans have like this Nayaka or the surnames popular, like Rajapaksa is fine, but then we hear surnames like De Silva or Fernando.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to that point because like De Silva, Fernando, and even Gammampila is like more like a Kerala from Kerala and Sri Lankan mixed surname, and like all the Fernandos and
Portuguese, they were Portuguese.
They were Portuguese. So we were invaded by Portuguese, Dutch, and British. And before that, we had fights with India, Indian kings, and it's like. Because we are neighbors, right? It's okay
and neighbors always fight.
Yeah, we always fight.
But we don't. It's okay. But Jacqueline Fernandez.
Okay. She's a celebrity in your country, but she's really pretty famous in my country as well. But initially, she was not that much famous.
She was Miss Sri Lanka.
She was Miss Sri Lanka, but she was not that much famous in my country. But once she went to Bollywood, she was pretty famous, and now she has really big restaurants and all this kind of properties in Sri Lanka, and kind of. I was proud of her. Like she's a Sri Lankan, and she acts pretty well. Yeah, she's
and then there's like so many cricketers also which are very famous, like Lasith Malinga, Kumar Sangakkara.
Sangakkara is from my school. Yeah.
Good.
So like extra proud of him.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, Sangakara, Mahazavadana, Sanaja Surya, Mutaya Muralidharan. So Mutaya Muralidharan is also from Kandy. He's
Okay.
from my rival cricket like school. Like Kumar Sangakara and Mutaya Muralidharan were rivals at
Okay.
school level. It was like brother school to be
Okay.
apparent, right? They were the Sangakara school and Mutaya Muralidharan school. Okay, those schools have played with each other for more than 100 times. I mean, like 100 years.
Years.
Okay, so
Cricket is a big thing there.
exactly.
Okay,
Cricket is like a
it's-
huge thing in
It's
my
like
country.
India and
Yeah,
Pakistan.
same thing, right? We South Asians, we
We are
are like crazy of cricket, right?
cricket.
So even though during the last few times, even though we were like facing many issues in our economy and
Yeah.
the political things, but when it comes to a match, people forget about everything and just see that. That's why
Yeah.
Darshan Shanak, when he won the Asia Cup, he
Mhm.
said like, it's not about winning, it's about making people happy.
Happy.
Because we really enjoy cricket,
Yeah.
the game.
And
even
how
though
about
we
carom?
lose.
You-
Carom is also famous, but like carom, like in a national level, rather than a national level, it's like more like a hobby game. Like when you have funerals and when you have some kind of functions or religious gathering, people used to play carom here and there,
Yeah.
you know,
Carom
to
is
time
quite-
pass. It's
Carom
like,
is quite popular in India also,
Mhm.
but I was surprised to see that they are winning World Cups also
yeah.
in Carom. So how is the situation now in Sri Lanka?
Situation is, I could say, just it's somewhat under control, like somewhat, okay,
Mhm,
not
mhm.
that much,
Mm-hmm.
because like you cannot blame only one political party. It's the continuous operation of several politicians, several
Mhm.
political parties, the
Mhm.
wrong decisions that they have made
Mm.
throughout the years,
Mhm.
and apparently the huge mistake was done by the previous government.
Right. Okay,
And the
so
president.
let me first explain economic crisis.
Yeah.
Please add something if you want
Sure,
to.
sure.
So, what happened? Like, if I explain economic crisis of Sri Lanka in one line, it was like importing was more than exporting. So,
Exactly.
so basically, they were spending more than they were earning. So, what happened was when Gotabaya Rajpaksha was like campaigning for being the president of Sri Lanka, his main slogan was like, "I'll cut the taxes." So, people, please give me what I'll cut the taxes, and that's what he did because he won. He cut the taxes, but how will country run without taxes if people are not paying taxes? So eventually what happened was like government was out of money and investors realized that and they fled the country and the foreign reserves become very less. So what he did in April 2021 that he said he banned chemical fertilizers,
Yeah.
saying that it is good for health, but actually the problem was because he was not able to import it from the countries because he didn't had foreign reserve. So
Kind
to like cut the import, he did that, but eventually what happened was they were not able to grow the rice because the growth of rice became like less than 50%, and the situation was that bad that now they had to import even rice. So
See, the worst part is like Sri Lanka has been famous for agriculture
Sure.
and rice, producing rice, right? We used to provide rice to India, to some part of China, and we used to export rice. But unfortunately, we had to import rice. You know, the consumption, the rice was not enough for us to consume because of that thing. And like earlier, we were able to produce like harvest rice like 3 times per year in ancient times. But with this issue and with everything, because you know his decision to move on to organic is really good, but he shouldn't have done it like all at once.
yeah, it
He
should be
have,
gradual.
Yeah,
It should be
gradually,
gradual.
like a pilot project. You know, you do something because like people are now used to the people, the soil, and the everything. You know, all the conditions are now very much familiar with the artificial fertilizers. So you cannot at once change everything, right?
True.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Even though you grow organic in the same soil, it won't grow, and you won't have that productivity because the soil you need to remake it and make it more rich in organic materials like with nutrients and all those kind of things. So the sudden decision of going from chemical to fully organic was a really stupid decision.
Yeah, exactly.
So that affected the country, the economy, and people. People were in hunger, and especially the farmers face many difficulties because in the village areas and the rural areas, the majority of them are farmers. Not only in rice, but in all the other agricultural food as well. Because see, the seeds that they produce, we import seeds as well. So those seeds need fertilizers, right?
Yeah.
Because like those seeds are not like genetically made seeds, like so. The idea that he had was impossible to do. Like,
It was definitely a bad decision.
Yeah.
And then because of COVID, there was no tourism.
Yeah.
Because they had like 13% GDP from tourism.
From tourism.
But
so bad timing, bad decision, and everything went wrong.
Yeah, we have heard, like we were getting news like you don't have paper to write exams.
Yes. Like even like schools and universities were, because like in my country, schools and universities, like the secondary and the tertiary education is fully free. But if the schools are fully free, but like for universities, you just have a limit of people can be entered to the university because of lack of resources. But others do have private universities as well. But when it comes from grade 1 to 12, it's fully free, and the what you call healthcare sector is also free. So those are government expenditures, right? So government, since they don't have the enough amount of money with them, they cannot provide them. And even the COVID vaccines and everything was fully free for the entire country. So they have spent many Sri Lankan rupees to bring those vaccines and to continue the same thing that you said. Like we don't produce anything in our country, but we have to import everything from other countries. So ultimately, our foreign deficit shrink.
Yeah.
Shrink in the sense it's like zero.
Yeah. So according to the data, it was like they need like Sri Lanka needs almost $20 billion dollars to rise up again. So how's the situation now?
Now, I couldn't say that it's good, but it's surviving. I mean, like it will be okay because it'll take at least 2 years like from this condition. If there is a good leadership, which I believe, I don't know whether the current president is the most senior person in Sri Lankan political history, but still you have the old same corrupted politicians with him surrounding.
Have you personally suffered these things during economic crisis?
Yeah, we all have, because
inflation
is going skyrocketing, okay? And not only inflation, we didn't have fuel. So for fuel we have to wait in queues for 2-3 days, and there were no gas for the cookers to cook in. It was okay for the rural areas, but for the urban areas you need gasoline, right? I mean to cook and do your stuff. But people, so even though people have money, they can't buy anything. I mean, because they can't make the food. The restaurants was closed. The hotels suffered a lot. And when the essential things, you don't get the essential things, almost all the people in the country suffers, right? You don't have power, you don't have electricity. I mean, you don't have gas, you don't have food. You don't have
my God, you guys have seen a lot. In fact, I feel so sad thinking that your generation have also seen a lot. First civil war, maybe your teenagers have been into
civil war. Then there was a really good period in Sri Lanka, and we because of the tourism was improving, and the GDP was increasing, and the economics was going well. We have many highways, new buildings coming up, infrastructures building, so and so and so. Then we figured out even though these things are going ahead, all these things are loans or debts, money traps. Because the things change from government to government. So when one party comes, they will stop everything that the other does, and they keep blaming on them. See, they have done blah blah blah, and they're gonna start something else, and all the money that was invested for that project was closed. Because you know, the political situation in, I believe, in most of the South Asian countries is like the same, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like politicians, they are fully corrupted,
Mhm.
and people also don't have a choice.
Mhm.
We have to select the least corrupted
That
politician
politician,
out of
yeah.
the bunch of
Yeah.
corrupted politicians.
Yeah, it
right?
was so strange. Like
Yeah,
the
if-
both prime minister and president were relatives, and everyone was Rajpaksha.
Yeah. There was a meme once, right? Okay, you name 10 politicians in Sri Lanka, you just say Rajapaksa. You
Yes.
have 10.
Yes.
See, something like that. So, like, it was really bad, you
Mhm.
know, because they can't. During the
Mhm.
voting time and
Mhm.
during the campaigns, they keep
Mhm.
on saying that they want to develop this country.
Mhm.
We want to make Sri Lanka the wonder of Asia, and the wonder of Asia thing, I don't know, it comes from many times but never happens. Because, like, it's the same thing. They keep on doing the same thing
Mhm.
with a different name. The same project with a different name, with their constructions
Sure.
and their
Mhm.
relatives and
Mhm.
their people who support them during the campaign.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
at the end, nothing happened, just only the people suffered, right? Again,
But-
if Sri Lanka doesn't have a good strong leadership or a good stable politicians or like a political stability, we have to face a lot of trouble in future. See, now it's like stable, not growing but stable. It came from down here, now it's a bit stable. If you don't have a good, you know, stable political situation or an economic situation, we will go down. The chief of the central bank
Mhm.
is a really good person.
Mhm.
So he tries his best to, you know, get back the economy working again, and we'll see. Let's hope for the best.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
like,
wish.
yeah. Because like Sri Lankan people doesn't have to suffer this much because we do everything from our sides, right?
Yeah. I mean, they are most nicest and kindest people.
Exactly. I mean, like with our hospitality,
Yeah.
the way how we treat people,
Mhm.
the rich history that we had,
Mhm.
and with everything, we're like, we shouldn't be in this situation, right? Because of certain amount of people, because of certain amount of people's interest, the entire nation is suffering because of those bunch of people. So it's sad.
It's definitely
Yeah,
sad, but
yeah.
we wish that you'll bounce back. Yes.